Hi, so you've reached the page of Emma Evans from Kent Therapy Clinic, that's me, and I'm really glad that you're here. And if you're watching this video, you may have seen the title, which is how to deal with certain types of depression, a little bit of a technique for you if you're suffering from mild to moderate depression. And it seems like the simplest thing in the world that I'm going to tell you. But this is something which used to really help me when I was feeling at my lowest. And just because I'm a therapist and whatnot, you know, and I've got all the techniques in the world at my fingertips and all of the knowledge of how to deal with things, I still sometimes suffer from a touch of depression. And some years ago, I suffered with, real depression. And this is why I can now help other people who are feeling low and a little bit depressed. Now, I say a little bit depressed because this technique can work for everybody, no matter where on that scale you are. But as a hypnotherapist and psychotherapist, I can't deal with the most severe cases of depression. And the reason for that is because actually when you are depressed to the point where you just simply can't get out of bed and you can't see a future for yourself, then that means that you need to go off to see your GP. And he or she must be your first port of call, because they can start to talk to you about interventions and people that you can speak to, and medications potentially that can help you. But if you are suffering with what we would classify as mild to moderate depression, then these sort of things like counselling and hypnotherapy and psychotherapy might be able to help. Now, I'm just going to talk to you though about a tiny little thing really that I discovered that I still use to today when dealing with depression. And, sometimes with the best will in the world, life happens and you get up of morning and you just feel rubbish. And, it's almost like there's a black cloud and, you're not motivated and you just really don't want to do very much at all. And when I get those sort of days, I get up, I force myself to get dressed, washed and dressed, and I make sure that I go out. And this seems like the most simple advice in the world. But actually, if you get out of the house and don't stay in the same four walls, don't stay in bed, and, even if you look like, you look awful. Some mornings I get up and I pray that nobody that I know will see me, because my hair's all scraped back and I haven't got any makeup on, but I'm out. And that's the most important thing. And so my advice to you is, if you are going through a tough time, if you've got any form of anxiety, or you've got mild to moderate depression, then you make a point of every day getting up, getting washed and dressed, and getting out of the house. And it doesn't actually really matter where you go. You could walk down the road and back. Make it at least a 20-minute, half an hour walk though, because as soon as you start to walk, that triggers certain hormones in your body that are going to help you. They're going to help to lift your mood and make you feel better. But even better than that, if you can do it, walk somewhere where there are other people. So maybe a shopping centre, perhaps a coffee shop. And my favourite place to walk within a half an hour distance is a Costa Coffee. And I quite like just sitting and people watching for half an hour. And just that, walk down there and then buy myself a cup of tea or coffee and just sitting, even though I'm sitting on my own, I'm contemplating life and just having a little think. And my head has cleared by the time that I get to that coffee shop. And once I've had my tea or coffee, and maybe something else, perhaps a little bit snack to eat or something, then I start to walk back. And by the time I start to walk back, things don't seem so bad. Things seem to have brightened up a little bit. And there are all sorts of reasons why that happens. Not least because when we walk, we release stress hormones. When we start to move around, we start to produce endorphins. And endorphins are, the things which actually make our mood lifted and make us start to feel better. So that's my advice to you. If you're having a down day, if there is anything on your mind and you've been mulling it over, or you feel as though you don't have the solutions to a problem, for example, or you're suffering from mild to moderate depression or maybe some anxiety symptoms, then get up, get yourself dressed if you're not, get out and start to walk down the road and see where that takes you. Maybe even get in the car initially and go and drive yourself to perhaps a country park, or somewhere that's scenic, that's actually a really, really nice place to be, and try to make it where maybe there's some dog walkers or there's other people around, and get those endorphins going, release those stress hormones, and start to appreciate the feeling that you get as a result of that. You'll get clarity of mind. You'll get a certain peace of mind, and you'll start to feel just a little bit better, and build on that on a daily basis. And whenever you start to feel like that, just make sure you get up and get out. That's my advice to you, all of you who are watching this video. So I hope this video is finding you well, and I am always really happy to hear from anybody who's watching the video with any comments, and I'd love to hear your solutions for when you're feeling a little bit low or down, and pop them in the comments underneath, and I will always get back to you. I'm quite sort of interactive in that regard. I like to know that I'm just not wittering onto myself, so come and say hello and give me some more techniques that actually the other people who are watching this video will appreciate too. We're a community, we can all help one another. So take care and have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.